Hey everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through my first paycheck budget of May. So let's just get right on into this video. So I use my personal budgeting worksheets. These are available on my Etsy shop. I've been asked a ton of questions about them. So check the description box down below for the link. But let's just go ahead and fill in everything here. So we'll start with the payday. So I'm doing this on the 15th. And the beginning balance, this is the balance that is the available balance on my checkbook register. And I can share a separate video specifically talking about the checkbook register that I use. It's on my phone. You can be old school and use your own actual checkbook register little booklet, whatever you see fit. But I think that this is very important when it comes to your budget because you still spend money out of your checking account. That's for bills. If you are like me, I use my checking account for gas purchases, and then any online spending, you use your checking account. So you have to make sure that you are balancing that out as well. So what we have remaining is $58.01. And we are budgeting out 2 paychecks, mine and my husband. My husband, he got paid on the 14th and I got paid on the 15th. So just to make things a little bit simpler, I just thought it best to write everything out on one paycheck budget. So you're gonna follow along with me exactly on how I do this. But my paycheck, mine was $1,014.84 or 85, and my husband's, his was $1,084.37. So the total income is including this beginning balance. That is what we're gonna break down every single dollar. All right, so the total income is $2,157.23. That's what we're working with to break down every single one of those dollars and give it a job. Now, the first thing that I want to recommend to you is something that has benefited us in our budgeting journey, in our debt-free journey. So we are right now 100% debt-free. And so we just finished baby step 3, which is having our emergency fund fully funded of at least 3 to 6 months. And it's all based on your personal living situation. So if you are a family like me, you have 2 full-time incomes, steady incomes, it's reliable, then being within that 3-month of your monthly expenses saved up is okay. But honestly, it all depends on what you feel comfortable with. And we feel comfortable with the 3 months. Later on, we can throw more funds in that savings account. And so now with that, we are now focused on our retirement. And so with these paychecks, that is already with money being set aside for retirement. Now, I am not an expert on retirement, so I'm actually going to be seeking out help. But the point is, we have now finally contributed to our 401ks through our employer, which is such a big deal. So we are incorporating that in our budget. It's just before we received our paycheck. So now is our baby step 3B. So we're kind of doing this simultaneously, retirement savings and also saving for our next home. So how we are doing this is we break things down by percentages. What started out this journey was living off of 80% of our take-home pay. So 80% of this total income is what we broke down into our expenses, anything that we spent out. So that's our daily cash envelopes was included in that 80% along with our fixed expenses, living, food, all of that. Then the remaining 20%, we split that up into 10% for tithing and the other 10% was for savings or paying off debt. And it's because we had debt as part of our fixed expenses, we weren't able to live off of less than 80%. It just wasn't realistic. And so now, because we are 100% debt free, we can now live off of 70%. So I'm doing things a little bit different. It's not going to be off of this total income. It's actually going to be what we received. Because my goal is to have whatever was left over in the bank to still be in the bank. But we have to give that a job down here. So I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So So let's just see what our total income minus this 5801. So we're gonna just add up our actual paycheck amounts. So that gives us that $2,099.22. That is our actual income amount. We are going to be living off of 70% of this amount. So what you do is you have your number and then you're gonna multiply it by 0.7. So this gives us 1,469.45. And then we split this up. 10% goes first for me, and that's my tithe. So we take that 2,099.22 times 0.1, and this gives us 200, and I'm gonna just round that up and say $210 for the tithe. So now we're left with the last 20%. So I'm gonna break this down, 10% and 10%. This first 10% is gonna be for our sinking funds because that is savings. So this 20% is for savings. Sinking funds is a form of savings. We are saving up for something that is coming up. Holidays, birthdays, celebrations, travel, vacation, whatever that is, you're saving up for something specific, but it's just in envelopes. But then you have your actual savings account that you can save for a goal. In our case, that goal is buying a house or putting a really good down payment, minimum 20%. So that's why that gets split up into two, okay? So taking the 20% of this total, the 2099.22 times 0.2, this gives us $419.84. That's going to be divided into these two categories. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to put exactly, let me just multiply it by 2, $209 in sinking funds or whatnot, because I want to save for our house. The goal is that we have is we want to save for a house. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to set aside, and we already discussed this, 200 for sinking funds. Sinking funds, that's what SF stands for. And then that remaining is going to be here for a house. So we said it was $419, and we're going to subtract that 200. So we're going to say it's $219. That's going to be for savings. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know if you understand this, if it gave you like a click. It has for me. I'm going to use this as my little guide to know that this 70% is our fixed expenses, our day-to-day cash envelopes, and then this 10% is going to be for our sinking funds. Then the remainder is going to be for savings and tithe. So I'm going to leave that right here. So since we've calculated our tithe already, I'm going to go ahead and just apply this right here. And the tithe is 10% of your actual paycheck. So I did a cheat sheet of this, of my pay and my husband's pay. And I already calculated how much we wanted to set aside for our tithe. So based on that, we take 10% from each of our paychecks. So 1014.85 times 10, that's 102. 1084.37 times 0.10, that's 109, we round up. So 102 plus 109, it gives us 211. So we just round it up just a bit. And for offering, we give to a ministry, and that's $20. So the total giving is $231. So now let's get into our bill tracker. Now I love using this bill tracker because it just allows me to be on top of our bills, and I know that we are set for an upcoming bill. So the rent, so I have this for the 14th and the 15th. So we're just gonna go ahead and add these two up together. And let me go ahead and zoom you guys in on this part so that you can see what I'm writing. All right, the rent is $650. And what I like to do is just put a little check mark once I know I've set money aside for that. Next one is our storage. We do have a storage unit, and that's $18. So we had already completed the funds for our water before, so I already put a check because we had that set aside because we got a higher bill. $115.63 was our last water bill for our house. And then we did our ministry. Now car insurance, 47.59 times 2. All right, so $95.18 is the car insurance. This electric, we still don't know how much the electric bill is for the apartment, but I still want to make sure that we have something set aside for that because we know the bill is coming. 43.75 times 2. $87.50. Okay. This water bill, I put an X here because we received an invoice from our complex because they received the bill based on move-in. I guess it wasn't switched over in our name soon enough, but we still paid that utility bill. So that was already done because it had to be done like as soon as possible apparently. So we did already pay that. So I don't have to set money aside for the water. Renter's insurance is $16.66. Life insurance. So life insurance for me. And then we have life insurance for my husband. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add those two up. $12.70 plus $17.78. $30.48 is what we're gonna set aside for the life insurance category. So I'm just gonna put a check mark next to the two life insurances here. We have Disney Plus, which is $6.99. Our phone is $20.68 plus $20.67. $41.35. Put a check mark that that's done. So that's it for our regular bills. But down here, I put a note for groceries that we do want to take out $75 from this pay and $75 from my pay. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right here on the cash envelopes, and that's $150. So I put a little check mark. So now you can go ahead and just like double check just to make sure that you have everything accounted for. And we do. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside since that is done. But now there are other expenses that you want to think about. Those are those variable expenses, those things that kind of come up, you know you have to cover that. And so for us, that's groceries and that's gas. If I said groceries, I mean SunPass. That's SunPass and that's gas. Whoops. So gas, we're setting aside $80 for that. And then SunPass, I have to load our account. SunPass, for those of you who don't know, that's a toll road. So we have tolls here in Florida that we have to pass by quite a bit. My husband uses it more often because he has to take the toll roads for work every day. So we're gonna load $20. And then here is where I'm gonna add in miscellaneous. So the miscellaneous is that $58 currently. I'm just gonna make a note of that, plus the $10 that we budgeted out for. So $68 is what's gonna be here in miscellaneous that we're just gonna keep it in our bank account. So I think that covers our variable expenses that come out of the bank account. So we're gonna go ahead and add this up. So $1,114.16 is what this section comes to. So now I'm gonna go and write in what is the remaining balance, taking the income, subtracting the giving, and then subtracting this total expense section. $812.07 is what the remaining balance is. And this is gonna go down towards our cash envelopes and then our savings, our sinking funds. So let's focus on the cash envelopes. This is what I am taking out for my wallet, and these are the envelopes that I will be stuffing. So our groceries, our eating out, home, spending, and our date night. So for eating out, we're gonna put in $50. For home, we're gonna put in $40. Spending is gonna be $100. And date night is gonna be $50. So I know I have a lot of this space here, but I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different for my sinking funds. So I'll show you that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and just add this up and see where we're at. So for this section, we have $390. So I should really add in sinking funds here. All right, so let me wipe that out and we're gonna show you this other piece. But before I do, we said that that was $390, right? So this plus this is what should be our 70% rule. So let's see if we fall within that category. We said $390 was this. And we're gonna add in that $11 14, 16. So 1504, 16, and we should be at 1469.45. But keep in mind, we have the $68 that is really just in our bank account. We're not spending it. It's just kind of like a quote unquote savings. So if you deduct that $68, we're at $1436.16 that we are actually spending out. This miscellaneous, that's for like an unexpected occurrence that were to take place. I just would like to just keep that in there and not touch it, and that will give me a peace of mind. So that's kind of how I am doing this for our budgeting. But let's see what we have for our sinking funds. And remember, the goal is to have $200 applied to sinking funds. And so what I am doing, I'm gonna make this line, sinking funds. So we'll put in a full total. So I have this sinking funds page. This is something that is pretty new. I just created this actually because I now need a little bit more space on my budget for sinking funds. So I'm just gonna mark this off for the payday, and we're gonna list out our sinking funds that we're gonna be stuffing. So we have our anniversary, car maintenance, Christmas, my husband's birthday, we have Father's Day, our gifts envelope, and this is for like any gifts, any birthday, anything that we get invited to, so that we can have something set aside for that. My birthday, medical, Mother's Day. This is something new, right? This is gonna be for next year, right? Mother's Day already passed, but I think that these are the categories where we end up overspending because we didn't budget for it. And we really wanna give a gift, a nice gift to our moms. So we're gonna be saving for next year, vacation, and then Valentine's Day. So these are the sinking funds that we are pulling money aside for. So let me just write in the amounts that we are gonna be stuffing, all right? And let's add these up to get the total. The total for the sinking funds is $200. So I'm gonna write that in right here. So the 200 plus the 390, the total cash is $590. So we did it, guys. That's amazing. 222.07. So guess where all of this is going? This is going not to emergency, but to our house fund. 222.07, 222.07, nothing to budget for, and leaving us with a remaining balance of $0. So that's what our paycheck budget looks like. And now we're gonna get to stuffing the cash envelopes, which is my favorite part of our budgeting experience. So we have our cash on our cash. I went to the bank during my lunch and I got the cash needed. I have my wallet and I have my sinking funds envelopes that I keep in here. So what I'm gonna do first is stuff my sinking funds envelope because it's a lot easier. They're just single bills. So I have my sinking funds envelopes here and we're just gonna go down the list. So anniversary is getting $20. I actually need, I'm gonna need a new tracker. 20, 20. 20, 40, 60, 81, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, that one's done. We have our car maintenance, and that one is getting 10. Right, that one's done. Christmas, that's getting 30. So we have 344 in here right now. I I have never had this much saved for Christmas. So it's so crazy. Next one is my husband's birthday. He's getting $20. So he currently has $40 in here. This is something else that we've never done before, is save for our birthdays. So I'm excited to do that. Father's Day is getting $20. So we now have $60 in here for that. Gifts is only getting 10. My birthday, we are putting in $20. So we have 40 in here. Medical envelope is getting 20. So there's 80 in here right now. Mother's Day for next year, that's getting 10. There's $33 in here. Vacation, that's getting 20. So we currently have $240 in this envelope. And then Valentine's Day is getting $20. So there's now $40 in here. All right, so my sinking funds are complete. I'm gonna keep that in my safe. Now let's move on to these cash envelopes. So groceries, that is getting 1, 20, 40, 50. Okay, I already wrote it in here. So that's 150. Eating out, this is getting $50. So 20, 30, 20, 30, 40, 35, 46, 37, 48, 49, 50. All right, so we have $60 in there currently. The home envelope is getting $40 added. Spending, that's getting 100, 50 each. So I'm getting 50 and my husband is getting 50. So let me put this in my spending, oops, envelope. And I'm just gonna give this to him since he doesn't use cash envelopes. And, well, I wrote that in toiletries. Oh my goodness. Whoops. And date nights, that is getting 50. So 20, 40, 50. So we have $63 in this envelope right now. I just put these back in my wallet. And there you go. So that is how our paycheck budget looks like with the both of us combined, and how we are able to save $222 towards our house savings. And we are so excited about this. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. If you found this motivating at all and helpful, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys.